Hello. Don't mind the lighting. That's not important. I'm just here to address my last post. Check out my last post if you guys didn't. Just to know the backstory of how that even came about because I literally was on the verge of tears, so I even typing it. Um, so I've been on a spiritual journey for 5 years, and I was going through a lot in 2019. I was depressed. I just started tapping into myself, and I remember I was sensitive to everything, to energy, words, everything. Keep in mind I was on birth control at that time, so I don't know. Um, I was going through a lot. I was in a relationship that was kind of toxic. I was in a friendship that was toxic. I was having problems with school. I had just changed my major, and I was having self doubt issues about that. It was just a lot going on, and I remember I had this emotional breakdown where I cried my eyes out, and I remember drinking a lot, and I just blamed my entire family on choices that I made. You see how that doesn't make sense? But I did. I wasn't appreciative or grateful for anything at that time. Literally anything. Because I just thought my life can't get any worse. It can't get any worse. And so in 2020, I took the time out to just learn how to be accountable and really reflect on things. And that's when you realize, you can't hold on to that anger. You're grown now. Make Be different, you know. And you gotta think of positive things in your life, not just if you focus so much on the negative, then yeah, you're gonna think your life is shitty. If you focus on the negative too much, acknowledge the negative and acknowledge it, accept that it happened, and heal from that. So for the past since 2020, actually since 2019, New Year's for me has been, you know, 2019 I was depressed. 2020 we were dealing with, you know, the pandemonium at the time. 2021 I actually caught it. It was the last thing I caught, like I was sick New Year's. 2022 I was depressed. Um and then 2023 last year what I did was I released things into the ether um by writing stuff down and burning it on New Year's. I actually have a video of me doing it. Um that flame was serious. And now this year, let me tell y'all what happened. So yesterday, um, actually I think my mom was sick, so I think that kind of triggered it a little bit. But I was listening to music, Frank Ocean to be exact. And every time I listen to music, I end up having a download, a vision, whatever you want to call it, a revelation. I do have a Pisces moon, so people, I need for y'all to do that birth chart, and I need for y'all to understand the moon sign. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. I'm gonna need you to figure out what your moon sign is because that will tell you everything you need to know about yourself. I have a Pisces moon, so how I come into downloads and revelations, it usually involves art. Um, Whether it's music, me looking at a picture, me writing, me, and if it's creative, fashion, okay, changing my look up, it's important to me. It's how I get my downloads and it's how I'm able to channel things. Um, and I notice, and I actually noticed this just now. When I get extremely emotional, like when I'm on the verge of tears, whether I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm hungry, if I'm crying or on the verge of crying, I believe it. I'm glad it shut off. But I was thinking about I sat down. Actually, I wasn't sitting down. I was standing up, and I was thinking about the things I have in my life that I'm grateful for. I was listening to music. I was listening to Frank Ocean, and I started to vision myself in the woods, like in nature. And I was appreciating the trees, and I was appreciating the clouds, and appreciating the grass, the animals I saw. I appreciate, like, I've had a vision like that before where I was just appreciating the universe, and that was in 2020. But this time I was in the woods. That vision I was on a beach, but this one I was actually in the woods. And then I started to think about my family. I started to think about um, my mom, and I started to think about my friends, and I literally cried. Like, my friend's daughter, like, I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful that she had her. You know, then I started thinking about the things that I'm currently manifesting, but I started to think about it in present tense as if I've already acquired it already. And that's when I really got emotional. Like, I was literally crying, and I'm just like, is this a download? Is this like a new way? Well, not even a new way to manifest. I'm pretty sure people know that you gotta, when you manifest, you can't just speak it. You have to believe it. And that can take time, because it has to be intense for you. Like, if it's intense in a good way, that means you believe it. And for me, like I said, when I'm on the verge of tears, it's serious. It's serious, okay? Whether I'm crying, laughing, I'm crying because I'm angry, I'm crying because I'm sad, I'm crying because I'm happy, I'm crying because I'm hungry. It's real. It's definitely real. And I had a great day today. I had a great day today, and I feel like it was connected to that download that I had last night. And I had to post that. I typed it on IG, and I had to share that, because I feel like stuff like that you can't just keep to yourself. Like, that's what we should be using our platforms for. And I'm not saying, because I know you got fake spiritualists that, they use that to get their coin, which is like, okay, but it's like you don't even believe what you're saying. Whatever. Okay, whatever. But and it's nothing wrong with being a little messy sometimes, because things get interesting. It's okay to be a little messy with our platforms, but that's what we should be sharing. That's the stuff that we should be sharing, and uplifting one another. Because despite, yes, America took the biggest L, but I also believe that there is a method to the madness, and I think we didn't got so involved in everything that's outside of us that we forgot to tend to ourselves on the inside. We always worried about what somebody got on, how they wear their hair, what they do with their time, and it's like, why do we care? Like, I literally say that to myself all the time. Like, it could be something that happened at my job, and I'm like, why would they do that? And I'm like, you know what? Why do I even care? It don't affect me. I'm still getting the paycheck, so, like, it's not my business. That's their business. And it's so, and it's something that little can be the biggest stress reliever, because people do some dumb stuff every day, and you can't obsess over that. You can't. And I feel like if we just tap back into ourselves and realize the power that we have within ourselves, baby. And that's why I don't really bash religion too tough. Any organization, because this is thing, because I literally had a thought, because I was thinking about the sprinkles in the red pillars. I feel like, honestly, red pill was about men bettering themselves, meaning like they working to get their credit up. They trying to start businesses, get their eating habits together, get their their bodies together, get money, just getting a better house. And then you got infiltrators who came in and made it about hating women or hating men that appreciate women. And let me tell you something, you do not have to be red pill to do any of those things. Just like with the sprinkles. I'm not saying I don't agree with the sprinkles. Because when it comes to the reason for both movements, I definitely agree. Because the sprinkle movement is the same as the red pill movement. It's about bettering yourself and your dating options and getting that money up and tapping into your feminine energy. Like red pill was originally supposed to tap into your masculine, and sprinkle was meant to tap into your feminine. But of course, when you get the wrong people infiltrating because they're using people's insecurities and their own insecurities to get them some money or some clout, that's when the movements become a joke. Okay, and religion's the same way. All these movements are the same. Like it all happens the same way. There's good intentions behind it, and then you get the wrong people behind it with bad intentions. Even when you think about the entertainment industry, it's so dirty now because you have people who have negative intentions. They're not there for the people who are actually in it. They don't care about the people who are actually in it. Just like if you work in the medical field, you work in the educational system, you work in retail, it's all connected. It's all the same. The story is exactly the same. And the thing about it is I don't necessarily put down people who believe, because I'm no Christian. I'm like the furthest thing from a Christian. But what I will say is I do feel like religion does open those doors. I think anything can open doors to spirituality. Even I don't even put down atheists, because whether you believe in God or you believe in science, guess what? It all plays a part in the creation of the universe. So we gotta stop. We gotta stop doing that too, because and just have an understanding of how things come about. Because there's astronomy, there's astrology, that's science. The study of the stars and the planets and all that, that's science. And God created those things. The universe, the creator, I'll say the creator, okay? The creator created those things. So at the end of the day, it should all be appreciated, and it's the gateway. It could be the gateway into finding yourself, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else. And yeah, we do need to start being grateful, not only for the things that we have now, but we need to be appreciative and grateful for the things that we are going to have. And we need to speak that in present tense. Because what I tell you, when I thought about that in present tense and started to literally cry my eyes out, that's when I believed what I was thinking and what I was saying. Okay? Because it's like, you know, that's pretty much what the 369 method is, or when you're constantly thinking of something, or when you're constantly speaking it. Sometimes it can be a little weird because it's like, I don't know. You question yourself because it's like, do I really deserve this though? Am I really gonna get this though? Like, I keep saying it, but you may not necessarily believe it at that time. But when you start to feel it, that's why. Get that moon sign, you guys. Do that birth chart. Even it, you ain't gotta pay nobody. All you gotta do is have a birthday, which everybody got that, and a birth time. It'd be better if you had a birth time because it'd be accurate. And then if you need someone to read it, hell, I'll read it and I'll do it. I'll read it and do it for free. So it's like, listen, when you start to feel it, you believe it. You believe it. At that point, you believe it. I need for y'all to understand that. And for my Christians, and mind you, I'm not a Christian. I actually was raised Jehovah's Witness. That's already a story. But that's what Jesus came down for, to sacrifice his life, because he wanted us to realize how powerful and how blessed we really are. And you don't have to be a Christian to understand that. But I don't know what to say, because I had a great day. I don't want this day to go away. But what I will say is that this is my last intended message. This is my last download for 2024. And I cannot wait for 2025 to get here. There is a method to the madness. It's okay to have little side distractions. Like, sometimes you may need to watch baddies. Sometimes you may need to watch these messy TikTok lives while we still got TikTok. Sometimes you need to find out what's going on with Shamar. Sometimes you need to know what's going on with E. Kane and Queen Op and all that. Sometimes you need to know what's going on with the LaTruce saga if people still invested in that. I don't know. But you need a little distraction. Sometimes you gotta know what's going on with Blueface and Krishan and them. Sometimes sometimes you need a distraction from the 3D world. But don't forget to tap into yourself when the time comes. Divine timing is everything. So I will be posting my post at the end of the video, but that's all I have to say. Even though it's not New Year's yet. Happy New Year's 2025.